Trainer Grace here. Today I'm going to take you through my crock pot pulled chicken recipe. This is one that I get asked about a lot because I love to have proteins prepped ahead of time. That's a question that comes up all the time is how do I make sure I get in enough protein? And a way to do that is to make sure you have protein on hand. Carbs tend to be really quick grab and go. Your fruits, your breads, your crackers, all that stuff that's like so easy to consume. Protein, not quite as easy to consume because it tends to require some preparation, especially if you're going to use whole food protein sources, which are the best. So let's go ahead and get started. I have my big crock pot going here. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to drizzle a little bit of olive oil in the bottom. Okay, just a little bit, not too much, just enough that when I take my spatula, I can coat the bottom. If you want to measure it out, it's about a half a tablespoon. I'll take my spatula and I'm going to spread it all over the bottom. Make sure it is nice and coated so my chicken doesn't stick. Okay, and now the recipe is on the description for this video, but you can modify it with the spices however you want. And you can also do this for as little as 2 chicken breasts or as much as what I have here. I believe it's 6 or 7. It's 7 pounds of chicken or 7.5, which should be a good amount to get me through the week. And if I have leftover at the end of the week, I can always throw it into a soup and freeze the soup or something like that. So I'm going to go ahead and dump in my chicken. And you can trim off the fat if you want. You can cut it up into smaller pieces if you want. I just keep mine as whole breast because you're going to see that if you have time to let this sit in the crock pot, it's going to fall apart really nicely at the end once it's all cooked. Okay, so now I have my chicken in there. I am going to go ahead and drizzle just a little bit more olive oil. So like I said, it's about a tablespoon for the whole recipe. So we did half drizzled in the bottom. And now we're going to put about half on top. Hi, honey. You want some elderberry syrup? Sure, we'll get some after I'm done with my video. Okay, so we're going to put just a little bit more drizzle. If you wanted to measure it out, that's fine. But again, put about a half a tablespoon there, just a little drizzle. And then you need your tongs. I forgot to have my tongs ready. You could also, just use your hand and then wash your hand. But I like to use the tongs. So I'm going to mix that oil up really nicely. Make sure that they're all coated really well. Okay, then I'm going to add my spices. So again, kind of depends on your taste. Now what I like to do is some Mrs. Dash. This is the no salt added. There's no sugar added. There's no MSG in here. This is really nice. Just great combination of different spices. I do lots of cracked pepper. And I really like oregano, so even though there's oregano in the Mrs. Dash, I add some more. Plus, it's so good for you. I do some paprika and turmeric. This is kind of like the combo you would get of Lowry seasoning salt, but Lowry's also has added sugar and some other just preservatives. So I figure, hey, why not just do some turmeric and paprika on their own? And then also onion powder, garlic powder. Again, those are included in the Mrs. Dash, but I like a little extra. You could also put fresh garlic or fresh onion in there if you wanted. Now, if the kids aren't going to be eating it, I go ahead and throw in some cayenne. But if the kids eat it, sometimes that's a little too spicy. So it's up to you if you want to do some cayenne. And then garlic salt. You'll notice this is the only one that has the salt. And again, I've kind of tripled up on the garlic. The garlic is so good for you and tasty. So you can measure this out. I've included measurements for a 2-pound batch of chicken on the description. So you could double that for 4 pounds, triple it for 6. Here's what I do. Open up the wide end. Sprinkle, sprinkle, sprinkle. Oh, that's good. Okay. Now the pepper. This is going to take a while. Lots of pepper. So we crack and crack and crack. What are you doing there? I'm watching you crack the pepper. What are you doing, Evelyn? Keep cracking the pepper there. Like all. Stop tapping that. Okay. Lots of pepper in your chicken. Yeah, I'm making a video.
Making a video of what?
How to make the crock pot chicken. So everyone always asks me about it. That's probably good.
Chicken is delicious.
It is delicious. Okay, and then sprinkle that onion powder. You don't need quite as much of this because, again, it was already in the Mrs. Dash. We're going to do the garlic powder. And we don't need as much of this because, again, it was in the Mrs. Dash. And we're going to add the garlic salt, too. Okay, now this is the only one that's going to have salt in it. Okay, adding the garlic salt. And this is great to have on hand because then you can use it for You can use it for chicken wraps. You can use it for chicken tacos. You can use it for, what else do we use it for? Just shredded chicken sandwiches. Sometimes you can throw the, you want to try what? You want to try the, oh yeah, chicken and rice. So it's really easy to prep this. You can put it in salads. So we'll do another video showing all the different ways that you could prep this easily for some meals for the week. Even if you take like a bag of frozen vegetables, let it thaw, and then, oh, I'm doing the oregano now, by the way, lots of oregano. But you could change the seasoning. You could make this more like a Asian flavoring if you wanted. You could, but my family votes don't change the seasoning because this is a really nice, as long as you like garlic, this is a nice combination of seasonings that allows you to have some versatility in how you use the chicken once it's done. Because we could still throw this chicken into a stir fry, or we could, like I said, we could throw it into tacos. So you have a lot of options of how to use it. Okay, because this is a nice general flavor, lots of flavors that go into other things. So you're not making or breaking your options. Oh, and now I'm taking my tongs and tossing it all together. Sorry about that screech. My tongs scraped the bottom. And you just want to make sure your chicken is all the way coated. Here, I'll show you. Make sure your chicken is coated all the way with all your seasonings. Okay, and now because I have a lot of chicken in here, I'm going to put it on high because I'm hoping to use some for dinner. And it is 2 o'clock now. Yep. So I'm hoping to use some for dinner. So I'm going to put mine on high, but because it's so much chicken, I'm going to do it for 5 hours. Okay. Oh, you got to plug in the crock pot first. That's helpful. I think that's funny. Funny. Okay. So it's plugged in. I'm going to put mine on high, 5 hours. You could also do low for 8 hours, low for 7 hours, kind of depends on your crock pot. But generally speaking, if I'm doing, in that 4 to 8 pound range, then for low, I can do 8 hours, and for high, I can do 5 hours. Now, you're set. You get to walk away. I'm going to go do some painting. But what I like to do, an hour before your timer goes off, you're going to come up and you're going to take a new clean pair of tongs because that has all the raw meat on it. So get a clean pair because it's going to be pretty much cooked. However, what I like to do is take that tong and just shred it all up in there and it'll just fall apart, okay? And then leave it sitting there for another hour because it's going to absorb more of the juices and the seasoning. Right now, they're all on the outside. So I like to let it absorb in there. There you have it. That is your crock pot chicken. And then we'll do another video that's going to show you all the wonderful ways that you can use it. Feel free to post your questions or reach out to me, successtrainingmn@gmail.com. And we will see you next time.